Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Now today I would like to take a look at the passport bro wave gaining popularity across the Western society. We will discuss briefly the reasons for this, whether they are justified, and if this is really the way to go as far as searching for mutually beneficial relationships is concerned. Now if you don't know, passport bros are Western men, particularly from the USA, as this is the origin of the movement, if we can call it that. And these men believe that the modern day Western woman is not worthy of being a wife and does not give them appropriate return on their investments, so to say. They justify this using different reasons, including that Western women are not traditional, they are not friendly, cooperative, or respectful. They are too money conscious and have high delusional taste. They are fat and do not pay attention to their looks. They do not share their income for running the home, and the list goes on. Now, this video is not to invalidate the male experience in the modern era. However, I do wonder if the observed behavior stem only from the feelings of women. I do believe this finger pointing seems to absolve men of the many ways they have fallen short of the expectations of the traditional man, while insisting women remain traditional. But this video is not to analyze the ways men or women have gone wrong, but to ask if this passport broism is the appropriate response to the observed negative behaviors. I think not, and I will give my reasons. One, I hate to break it to you, but women are the same everywhere. They are same in their psychological makeup, and the one trait that is common is that they are hypergamous. A woman aims to negotiate for the best man she can find using her beauty, youth, and character. It's been this way since forever. The major problem now is that the current environment makes women aspire beyond what they can realistically accomplish, aiming for targets far beyond their social and economic radius, thus leaving the mid to lower income men around them feeling overlooked. In other words, validation on social media gasses the females up, fills them with a sense of superiority to the men actually within their class, and makes them hang on to delusions that they will, in the end, capture the attention of that man everybody wants. And so, in response, should the men flee? I would argue that not all Western or modern women think this way, and men today do not have the diligence to sift through the available women to identify that woman who is more grounded, reasonable, and who fits the mold of a wife. Two, your increased value abroad is just a consequence of the exchange rate difference. Many men claim abroad they are treated better, etc., but you are not within the lower income bracket in those countries. How then can you opine that women abroad are more cooperative? You do not know the way they treat lower income men in their country. Again, just as women have always exercised their right to hypergamy, men have always used their resources to command respect and expand their options. The more resources you wield, the higher the respect you command and the more expansive your options will be since the beginning of time. Running abroad is an admission that you cannot compete in your home country. Put in a different way, would you give up your tech remote job to get a local job and stay with the locals in those countries you claim have more desirable women? Of course not, because that brings you down to the mid or lower income level in their country and defeats the entire purpose as it takes away your negotiating power. 3. It is the Ozempic equivalent to building masculinity. It is nothing but a band-aid to alleviate the negative experiences men encounter in their home country. Just like Ozempic grants the weight loss without the behavioral changes needed to ensure a slimmer, fitter, healthier person, so this passport bro experience boosts the male confidence momentarily without actually building those behaviors, that character, those mannerisms, the reorientation needed to become a better, more competitive male. What happened to the males in society taking a stand and provoking the positive change needed? I would argue that men are no longer built to withstand pressure and would accept all behaviors, good or bad, toxic or not, just for some female attention. Men are seen all around flaunting those same toxic women they claim they do not want, thus sending the message that those behaviors are not a hindrance to attracting men of any value. They then try to cop out by saying, "We want them for the sex only, not to be wifed up." Why don't you make it your responsibility to reject totally behaviors you abhor? In the past, men will not even let themselves be seen in daylight with women who do not measure up to their standards, morally or otherwise, but now they flaunt and spend heavily on these fully made up, fully surgically enhanced, sometimes badly behaved women and expect that this would not send a certain message to the onlooking women, especially the growing girls. You thought wrong. To take a stand, women who possess those behaviors you claim to hate should see themselves being rejected every day. They ought to see themselves being passed over time and time again for the women who are wife-worthy. Until men shore up their masculinity levels enough to take this stand, they contribute equally to the current situation and the status quo will be maintained. 4. This is a fad that will be keyed into both by the passport bros and the desired foreign women. As has been reported on several occasions, many of these men are lured into situations that could turn fatal. Several men have been reported dead or missing. Many passport bros are in it for the sex tourism, and in return, the male locals in those countries do not take kindly to their women being used as cheap sex material or their women getting pregnant for random abroad fellows who just run back to their country when the deed is done. And even for the foreign women who are in it for quote and unquote love, many have ulterior motives, which I will get into in my next point. In sum, this fad is turning hostile and could lead to fatal consequences as the line between searching for love abroad and searching for cheap exotic sex abroad is blurred. 5. Foreign women morphing into modern women when they hit the States or other Western country. This happens mainly when the man decides he wants to have a long-term relationship with one woman and brings her back to the States or UK. Then, without warning, this foreign woman begins to morph into a modern woman. You see, one of the reasons for the differences in the way women treat relationships and marriage across the world is the different laws across countries. Where there are laws protecting women, for example in the US or UK, the foreign woman sooner or later learns the system and weaponizes these laws to the man's detriment. In the lower income countries, you find that the laws governing marriage or child support may not be that favorable to the woman, and that shapes their behavior. Limits kids born out of wedlock because she may have to take care of that child alone. Facilitates women remaining in marriage even through abuse because she may leave that marriage empty-handed, may even leave without her kids. Where the man is significantly richer or more powerful than she is, she may be denied access to her kids completely. A change of environment could cause a change in behavior in this foreign woman. Remember, there are ill-intentioned women everywhere, and the ill-intentioned foreign woman will still present as a traditional woman and will play her part until she doesn't need to. Now, this begs the question, are the men ready to relocate to be with the woman in her country in the environment that has shaped and still shapes her behavior? I know the economic situation seems to encourage relocation, but not many people find this a viable option. The US and UK have too much going on for them to be swapped for poorer developing countries. In sum, it becomes apparent that this passport bro trend is not intentioned to solve any problem, but to go on sex voyages and threaten the so-called modern woman in their country. Is this worth the time wasted? Time that could have been spent conducting due diligence on the women in your own home country and selecting the one you can work with? one who has good character in spite of the environment she has grown up in. They exist. Men just have to search harder and be disciplined enough to remain unswayed by the pretty exterior. In fact, to put it bluntly, men may have to compromise on the pretty exterior to focus on finding a woman with good character. However, I suspect this may not happen as more and more people are throwing away the baby and the bathwater. I mean, they are deciding that marriage or long-term relationships are not worth it. That will be a video for some other day. However, I have a video briefly discussing this and will link same in the description. Thank you for watching, and please do like, comment, share and subscribe. Until next time, cheers.